Hello and welcome back to the channel where we're making a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So yesterday we got our touch working for our dialog box, which includes stuff like signposts with multi-page dialogue as well as NPCs that you can talk to. So we've got that on the new deployment. If you want to try it out, you can go to Tashio.dev is the website, and you can play it on your phone even, both on desktop or on mobile. So we're happy that that is working. Now we're kind of at a point in the development process where we've got a lot of the bones kind of in place. And what I mean by that is we have the ability to move our character, we have our ability to cast spells, we have ability to equip items, we have ability to change outfits and stuff, we have ability to make infinite maps and draw them fairly easily. We have the ability to add objects that are collidable, non-collidable, objects that can be talked to, NPCs that can have pathways. So it's like we've got a lot of the bones in place for creating things. So we're almost at the point where we can make actual little level designed experiences. So one thing I want to do is focus on polishing up the inventory system, because it looks like very much programmer art still, right? With all the rupees, we don't have rupees yet, or the heart containers, we don't have that yet. So I think what I might want to do is try to it's tough because it's like we made this little template for the inventory system, and I'm wanting to make it look like it fits perfectly, right? So like the squares here don't really line up, and the grid system for the inventory system is a little jacked up. So we can do, one of two things. We can either make it so that we match the art to the predetermined programmed squares here, or we can modify the squares so it fits our outline, and then we can redraw the stuff at a higher fidelity so it looks a little better than this programmer art. So I think we want to scoot down the boxes here so that the top of this box isn't overlaying the background for the character here. So if we can get that in place, then we can kind of place the higher fidelity objects in the correct spots there, and then we can tweak these lines as needed. Because you won't have a lot of these at the beginning of the game. You won't have any of the tomes, right? It'll be an empty slot for all these. You won't have any of the tunics. You earn those, through dungeons and stuff. And then you won't have any elements, which I don't know actually in the game how we're going to be finding new elements. There'll probably be one in every biome, maybe hidden with a puzzle or something. So the character or the players won't have very much option to choose from at the beginning of the game, but if we make this look good, we can include it in the trailer, and it's cool that we have the ability to change these spells. So right now there's only one blue spell coming out. Ideally, only blue element is probably going to be this blue fire spell, but the other elements are going to be other spells that I haven't figured out yet. So we have to figure out what color and what spells, and then where to put them, and what that looks like. So let's see if we can tweak our inventory grid over here just a little bit, and then we'll make a little placeholder, or we'll set us up to make some nicer art for the inventory here, and then I also wanted to kind of do some more higher level planning for the game today. So now's a good kind of phase shift in development process where we can now take the time to decide what we need to focus on next. The whole thing I've been doing is kind of focusing on what gets us the biggest bang for our buck. So the first thing we did was, get the player moving and walking and animating. Second thing we did was get all the maps being able to import and walk scene to scene, and then we added entities, and then we added dialogue system and NPCs. So the next, we'll be planning out the next roadmap for what's the biggest bang for our buck in terms of development, so that we can get a trailer made for the game, so that we can have promo pictures and images, so that when we have a 5 or 10 minute experience of a game developed, we can go submit it to Steam and then have at least, an idea of what the game's going to be. We can stage little scenes with spellcasting and enemies and different artworks and cinematics. We can kind of make those for the promotional material so that we have something to kind of show off on a Steam page, which I think will be a good milestone, because I think it'll start to feel more real once we've got a wish list on Steam, and it's all stuff we need to plan anyway. We need to start thinking about level design at this point, so I think it's a good time to start to work on that. So let's take a look at our inventory system and see if we can't figure out how to shift those squares just a little bit. I have a hunch that it's nasty code. We probably have stuff defined all over the place. Let's see. Okay, well, we've got a grid. Let's just start at the top here. We've got element slot. We have an option for either an item or a key item. So in the inventory, hitting the B button will swap which option you are selecting from. So we have a cursor. It's probably within the cursor code where we have the outline of where the cursor is. We have a handle inputs, functions, and then we basically just listen for either a touch or a keyboard press, and we just handle the input. And all the handle input should do is just change what cursor. It actually probably updates this selected row and call, because then we call an item cursor update, which if we look at our handle inputs, all it does is it equips whatever items in the slot, it removes whatever used to be in the slot, and then it also, what does the equip do? Equip on, I think this equip method is running on what, actually? I don't know where. Let's see if we have the equip. Where do we define this equip? Item equip. Okay, so we have an item class, and an item equip is just putting it in the lower left-hand corner in the item slot. So that's all item equip is doing, is moving that item's X and Y position. So that's all that's doing. And then, yeah, so it looks like, let's take a look at our cursor logic, and it's probably in cursor. Okay. So a cursor, we have a parameter we pass in for the update, which is a row and column. So depending on the parameter row and column, tells us which X and Y position we have for the cursor, and then it just renders this little cursor. That's just this rectangular square image that we have, and we flash using the visible boolean. Okay, so it looks like It isn't as nasty as I thought. We actually did it. We didn't do any magic numbers, which is what I was worried about. We programmed it with things like key item width, grid X offset, grid item width, grid item height. So if we take a look at our inventory system, we've got two things we're calling in here. This grid is the item grid, which has a cursor all of its own. It's bigger than the other cursor. So this is our item grid, and then this is our key item grid. So we swap between them using the B button and then select using the A button. So we have a key item, and then we have a grid. So it looks like grid is our item and key item is our key item. So if all we have to do is change the values here for our key item offset and height, and then we can tweak how big these appear. So it looks like I want to move the key item Y offset to be a little bit bigger so that it doesn't overlap with the square background image. So our Y offset right now is 44, so maybe we make this 46 and see what that looks like. Okay, it did lower it. Okay. I think I like that. It's spaced decent. You know, it's tough because, like, to be really nitpicky about it, like, you know, there's like a pixel of space on the right here, but then over here there's 2 pixels of space. So maybe we just shrink this by 1 pixel. I don't know. Yeah, and then this is actually looking okay. Yeah, so ideally we kind of, in A-Sprite, it'd be nice to kind of, yeah, I'm liking this. I think we just need to scoot some stuff over, right? So, yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's good. It's just throwing me off because the pictures aren't centered. But what we can do in A-Sprite is kind of remake these values, because we know that if the key items row is 1, then we start at a Y of key item offset, which is 45 pixels down. So in A-Sprite we can go 45 pixels down, and then we know that's, you know, we can build out our grid in A-Sprite so that we can get the items perfectly centered. So let's just go ahead and try to do it now. Might as well. I think it's called inventory. Key item cursor, Is it really what? It's not called HUD overlay. No, that's different. Game Boy overlay is different. Yo, where is our inventory? Oh my gosh, I'm too old to look at these tiny icons. There, pause mockup. Okay, not called inventory, called pause mockup. The terrible naming. Okay, so what we can do is just first do the move this over to the right 1 pixel. we can add a nice like kind of wood texture for this or something. So let's remake the grid with the proper values here. This does look off. There's no winning with that one. That's okay. We can adjust it. Let's make the grid here so we know the Y is a key item. Y offset, which is a 45 pixels, and then every row is multiplied by the item height plus the offset minus in item height. Okay. I don't know where I got that, but let's do, how would we do this? There's, you know, we need 45 pixels down, which there's 45 pixels. I think it was 44 pixels actually. No, it is 45. So that's weird. 45 pixels should be the top of this. Okay. Let's get the X value. God dang it. Okay, so it's virtual width minus 58. Virtual width is 160 minus 58 gets us 102 pixels from the left side of the screen. So 102 pixels is what? If we start at 0, 102 pixels puts us right there. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to just make a new layer. And this is just, we're going to put our little boundary. If the 45th pixels here, does it draw it at the 45th pixel? So it would be, because if we give it 0, it'd be flush on the left. So if we give it the 102, it would be 1 pixel within this square. Hey, what's up, Pierogi Dev? Good to see ya. So I think right here. And then the item height is what? Item height is 14 pixels. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay, so the item width is, oh gosh. Item height is 17. Is it really? Okay, I think this is a little screwed up because the X and Y position doesn't match up. The X and Y position is just the top left of our sprite that we're drawing. It's not necessarily the sprite's resolution. And Pierogi, we're coding in Love2d and Lua. Lua is the language, so everything is in .lua files. It's a super easy language. It's like, I guess I would say it's like Python in the sense that it's super easy to read and understand. But the only difference is, well, one big difference is Lua is 1 indexed, so a lot of stuff, yeah, Shaky gets it. A lot of stuff is, I think it's super easy to read, and it lets me kind of focus on the game dev side of things, but yeah, we've got, I don't know, it's pretty, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Speaks for itself, you know. So the hardest things to understand in the game, or in the source code, is probably a lot of the Love2d stuff. Oh yeah, pierogi. Yeah, I mean, I don't get, I never really use it as the interpreter, right? I only ever really use it with Love2d. So I'm kind of with you if I'm trying to write like a script or something in just Lua. I don't really do that. Or like NeoVim configuration. My NeoVim config is in Lua. But it's really just like copy and paste for the plugin syntax stuff. So I don't really mess with it too much. But I like it as a language. I think it's really cool. Okay, so it is 14 by 14 pixels for our key item. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have an outline of what our game is telling us is the selection, the item cursor. And then I'm assuming that it looks like just sandwiched next to itself. So it looks like this is probably what... See, okay, that does look right because the 1 pixel of gap on the right and the 1 pixel on the left, that's why we had to scoot this black line over. So that should be about what we're doing. This is just so that we can place it, we can center it with the real grid in our game, right? So that does look to be, yeah, that looks to be spot on. Okay, cool. So now we can center it based on that, but then we've got to do, there's the difference in Y between these two, and it looks like it is, you know, same difference on the X, but the Y difference is, honestly, we probably don't need to calculate it. We can just, we know it goes right to the top of the green. So, and then right to the top of the tombstone, or the tome, and then a space beneath the tome. Okay, so this should be easy. All that we need to do is get it matched up, and then we can center it. And then so we match the X position, yeah, and then that one's like that. And then the next one is just like that. Cool. Yeah, so let's see if on the tome, the right of the first tome should be flush with the left of the cursor, and the last one is on the left. Let's just make sure that is the case. It should match. Yep. Cool. Nice. Okay. And then now that we've got, we can call this key item grid. For now, you know, I'm not about to do better pixel art right now tonight. And I'm streaming late tonight because I had a documentary film shoot that I've been on call for, and I knew we were filming tonight, so it took me, you know, I didn't get done filming until late, and then, so yeah, started late. Didn't want to be interrupted. Yeah, Shaky, the I think I first heard about Lua because of John Romero from Doom. And he had this video about talking about the Corona developer kit using Lua. And then Harvard CS50 offered their game dev course in Lua, so that's why I found it and have been giving it a shot. My goal is to pivot into programming in Jai, which is a new coding language coming out. It is not out yet, but it should be. I don't know if it's going to be in beta or I don't know. It should be coming out. There's a streamer here on Twitch, Kuju, who streams in Jai, and I want to get him on the channel and interview him. So maybe I'll see if he has any interest, because I'd want to talk to him about what that's like. Yeah, and Shaky, Playdate is really cool. I'm assuming it was you who told me about that the other day. About that. I didn't know that was in Lua, so that's really cool. That's interesting to me. That might be on my list of stuff to mess with sometime. I'm a little... I always wanted to get a game like this. Like, I was looking at how to get my Love2d game to run on a little Raspberry Pi screen, like a handheld Game Boy game, so that I can let people play it. But now that I've got it deployed to the web and people can play on their smartphone, I don't think I have that much of a drive anymore, especially because, like, there's so much stuff to do in the game left, like, and it's hard enough to deal with, like, the touch and the keyboard inputs and making sure all that's right, that I think I'm okay with just getting it to work. Like, yeah, I love Love2d because we're gonna ship it, on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and it's also deployable on the website right now, which that'll be less impressive once we have to, like, save files, save your progress and everything, but at least people can play and get a taste for it. So I'm excited about the playability of the game. That's always, like, my biggest concern, is, like, I want people, I don't want any people to miss out because they didn't have the right operating system or anything like that. So I'm just gonna... Man, this is tough, because I should probably have to do... Oh, Shaky, so you're thinking they can save it on the website even? Because I thought about... I've done some basic loading and saving before with my last arcade game I made. I guess I'm just concerned how to do, like, the loading, because it's like, you're saying if we save a hashed state string, so we have, like, a string of all the different values your game save could be in, which is, like, how many rupees you got in your wallet, which elements you've got unlocked, and then you're saying we can kind of save that hashed state string as a code that they can copy, and then they can go to load the game and paste it into the game, and it can load from the copy, so that we don't have to load any files into the system, but they can just load the state of the game. Yo, that is awesome. You know what? I think that can totally work. I think that is a great idea, Shaky. Because I guess, yeah, because it comes down to once I get more things in the universe, I can think about how to operate in those states, like where are your rupees saved? Where once you clean a biome, what happens to the entities? How do we convert that into a string that can load the data? That's really interesting. It makes it super easy to hack, but I don't care. I just want it to work, so I don't care that people could cheat by just changing the source code to give them 100 rupees or whatever. I don't really care about that. But that is really interesting, and that might be how we end up doing it for the game itself, not even just on the website, but when we save it, it would just save that state hash string, and when we load it, it would just load it under the hood same way it would as if you're pasting it into the web version. I guess we can't really, I don't know if we can paste in the clipboard. I haven't tested if we can paste from the system's clipboard, but we could have an old school system says write down your hash string. I don't know. We'll do some testing, because it would be nice if they could save the string. I mean, what would you say for that, Shaky? Like, if it's a string, let's just say it's 10 characters, for example. It'll probably be longer, but if it's 10 characters, do we allow them to copy it to their clipboard so that they can save their own text file? Or I guess, I know there's probably a way to force a download of a plain text file, or not force a download, but ask if they want to save it a plain text file with the code in there, so that they don't have to write it down, and it has like a little date of their save progress or something. I'd be curious to test that. That is really interesting. Yeah, that is a big thing to figure out. And then copy to clipboard. So I guess the thing is, I'm just worried about, just let them handle it. Like, hey, you copy it to your clipboard, that's on you if you lose it. I was considering just not offering the save and load on the web development thing, so that's better. Okay, set clipboard text. Here, I'll copy and paste this so we've got it. Reference. We'll do some experimenting with that. I think that is a great idea, Shaky. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We just have to do some testing, so. Oh, I don't know where my notes are. Oops. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Shaky. I think we will definitely do that. That is a great idea. I really like that. Because if I don't want people, even though the game will be on Steam, I don't want people to be like, yo, I don't have the $2 or whatever to buy it on Steam. And I don't, because I know the executable builds, so it's super easy for anyone to play. So there's going to be no excuse for people to not play. They can play on the website, on their phone. Yeah, we'd have to test the clipboard copy on the phone too. I've done it on my other website, copy to clipboard, so I know it's possible. I just haven't done it from Love2d. So I'm sure it's probably possible on the phone too. Okay. One thing I'm considering is the fact that this is a 14 by 14 square on the grid. I don't like that it's 14 by 14, because if we cut it in half, there's no middle pixel. Because pixel 7 is on the left side of the center and pixel 8 is on the right side of the center because it's a 14 by 14. So I'm thinking we either change it to 15 by 15 or 13. So that, because that's what I'm getting at right here is like there's either a pixel on the left and 2 pixels on the right for this tone, or there's 2 pixels on the left, 1 pixel on the right of gap. So I don't like that. So maybe, yeah, I think we need to shrink the width by 1, which will then, yeah, that's really, it'll throw off all the math on everything. But I don't like the off by 1. I think it looks very weird. The thing will be, it's only the corners. No, I think we should do it. I think we should make it an odd number. We'll do that. So key item width, let's say, did I say 1 pixel more or less? Let's go with 1 pixel less on the width. If it's 1 pixel more, that is a total of 8 pixels wider. Yeah, we don't have that room. So yeah, let's go with 13 pixels wide. Let's see what it looks like here. Okay. Yeah, and we can scoot it centered. That still looks that looks fine. We just threw off all our math. I guess we only threw it off on the X. So if this is now 2 pixels shorter, let's go to our key item grid. And this is 2 pixels. It's going to be, actually, yeah, it goes from 14 to 13, so it's just 1 pixel over. What is going on? Okay, 1 pixel over. Does that look right? It's cutting off the blue element here. Doesn't look like it's cutting it off, but it does. Shit, man. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Shoot. Okay, let me just compare them. That still looks right. Oh, the width, wait. Oh, see that doesn't change. Okay, they're not. Okay, so we're not shifting by 1. Yeah, they shouldn't. This vertical line here shouldn't be the same between these two. They should be kind of butted up next to each other, not the same vertical line. So would that be in the key item? Oh, the width. Oh, we need to change the pixel itself. We need to change. So the X and Y position I think is still right, but we need to modify our actual cursor, our key item cursor. We need to actually change to 13 by 13. Yeah. Yep, we need to change this, so let's do, instead of 14, it's 13. We should probably change both of those, huh? So it's square. Okay, so there's our 13 by 13. Oh my goodness. I always mess this up. Save as. Or was it? God. Always mess this up. Okay, it is save as. Okay. Now let's see. Now that we've got the right cursor size. Yes, that one's overlaying correctly now. Okay, cool. So we can scoot the X offset over by 1 pixel, it looks like. It's hard to say because that's the old. Okay. Yeah, I think what we want to do is we want to undo moving this black line over. Oh man, it's such a touchy. See, and like this is the stuff I like. I'm not so thrilled to have to do. I want to get into the game stuff. You know, I'm not. It sucks to worry over like these little things, like little things lining up. Okay. Okay. So with this is the old 14 by 14, so we can now scoot this over and see what the new one looks like. So we know this needs to be moved up. And each one needs to be smaller. This one's smaller by 1. This one's smaller by 2 pixels. And this one's smaller by 3. And then this one's 4 pixels over. I think that's right. Is that right? So it looks like the blue is like right on the edge of the blue element here. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. So now what I'm thinking is we can move the X offset over. It looks like we've got 2 pixels on the left and 4 pixels on the right. So we can go move the X offset up to the right by 1. And that should give us a decent key item X offset. We can minus 57 instead of 58. And that should give us a more centered. Because like what we're looking at is the space here. It looks like there's 3 pixels of space here. And then here there's 3 pixels of space here. So that looks more accurate. So we can... That's going to be better. Yeah, this is going to be better. Cool. Okay. So it looks like this one hugs the tomes kind of perfectly on the right. So that's easy to match up. And these need to be shrunken down a bit. So that's gonna... They don't really fit. But that's okay. We can shrink them down. We can make better art for that. Cool. Okay, so this is a pretty fair estimation of the grid here. And we can just remake the grid for the others. Okay, so we know, yeah, let's see what pixel it looks like the bottom layer overlaps with the bottom layer, and then the top layer sits right on top. So we can just give us a whole new grid. Bottom overlaps like so. And then these ones hug perfectly, which... Cool. Okay, so now that we've got this overlay of what the grids are, we can center them better. See, like, it sucks that we have to do so much work just to get the stuff to kind of look centered, but whatever. I want to go... We'll keep these colors for now because they are hard-coded into the selection of his actual spell that he's holding. So let's just do a new layer here. And I'm just going to steal the color from here. And then we're going to make a new spell right here. Okay, and then we'll get the rest of the colors. I was hoping to do more roadmap planning for the game. Oh, that one looks wrong. Ooh, they both look wrong. Shit. Oh, I think it's because... Okay, yeah, it's because there's a spell underneath them. Okay. Okay. And I want it to look better than this, right? Like, ideally it's got some, like, shade to it. Like, it looks... We can add, like, a shading to the bottom half. And then give it, like, a little glisten or something. Just to make it... look better than a single color. I don't know. I kind of like just the one dot, like right there, you know? So we'll do the same thing. We'll grab a shade darker. Shade in the bottom and right side. And then give it a little glisten. These are placeholder colors, so I'm not too worried about getting perfect shades or anything. I don't even know. I've got ideas for spells, but I don't have a list of all the spells just yet, so. Okay. That's looking better. Cool. So those are our new elements. Yeah, I think that looks okay. They don't look so round, like they look not so round. That's all I gotta say. But it's hard. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's get these bars more centered. These horizontal bars here should match. Yeah, I did not think I was going to do this all day today, but this is one of those things that I know needed to get done, and I'm glad I just sat down to do it, because it's not something that I would plan an episode to just do, so at least we won't have to worry about it. You know, tomorrow we can focus on making actual prettier artwork for it, but at least now we can have it centered. Because just getting it centered makes it look a lot more polished, because they were like off by one and looking weird. The tunics are going to look weird because we need to shrink them, but shit. Okay. I think I want to add some slight shading to the other stuff. We're going to make them look better anyway. It looks... They're all jacked up. They're all jacked up. That'll be okay. We'll leave it for now. Let's save this or export this as a pause mockup. We really do have to change the code from it saying that it's pause state into inventory state. Please do that. Okay, save as. Okay, so let's see. We just saved that file. So we're going to reload our game and hopefully we have the newly centered stuff. It looks off by 1. Yeah, we're off by 1 on that guy. And damn it, man. Yeah, all the balls need to be moved to the right. 1. The tunics look okay, but they're off. And then just the first tome needs to be moved right 1. So let's just do that and then we'll call it a night because I am very sleepy. So we'll just scoot these over. Oh, shit, man. Okay, scoot those over. Gosh, that looks so jacked up. And then scoot over just this one. The tomes feel better. The tunics are still off, but the spells, the spell slots feel better. Yeah, I think they're too big. I don't think they should be that big. They look like paint splotches almost, but it's okay. I guess I'll say like we kind of like centered elements and tomes. That's what we did. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing some. Either we're gonna be doing the art for the tunics and stuff, or we're gonna be doing the roadmap planning that I thought we were going to be doing today, but let's read out here. Let's see. Val is playing. Sergeant Pepper, never heard of him. Oh, he looks like he's doing some cool stuff. We'll read out here to S9 Pepper here. But thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll see if we can raid. Sweet. All right. Yep. Have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.